That's a Conor Pepper match attacks card.
Good fat I am in that.
Yeah, look at that. The best part about it is defense 43.
I was an attacking mid back then, lad. Graham Sheeny played 1-2 back post and I nodded in 2-2.
No way.
93rd minute equaliser. Away at Tynecastle in front of what, 15,000 people. Still a lot going on with the Glens, with signing these players, signing that players, and I was having meetings with them and I just didn't really know what was always going on. Like we said, I'd been over the water and I was just a little bit taken aback by everything. See now, Johnny, how things went the next couple of years for me. I wouldn't change it. I made the right decision. That first year I played 30 odd games, we won the double, I won the league and the cup in the same week. I was devastated at the time, but now I'll miss him and I'll always make sure that I'm trying to show some sort of homage to him. After it, the celebrations after it, even the infield boys will say, like, John, we've won a load of stuff, we never got an open top bus tour, we never got to do all that type of stuff. It was such an unbelievable experience, especially like, you know, it might be like some of the lads first, it might be their last, you never know.
So that was, is that Greenock? You can keep that, by the way.
Yeah, Greenock Morton, yeah. Yeah, see the attack's better there, look.
Oh, I'm not sure what it would say now.
No, yeah, well, the attack with my goal record is probably down there in the 30s.
How, obviously you're from Malahide. How did Morton come about? Like, why did you end up starting over in Scotland?
I was playing for St Pat's at the time. That was south side in Dublin, so it was actually a good bit away from where I live. Yeah. But they said they were trying to get a coach in at the under-19 level who I'd worked with before. He tried to bring me up to the League of Ireland with a team called Sporting Fingal when I was like 15, 16. He really liked me, but they said they were going to get him in, so I could have signed for Bowes a bit closer, UCD, a lot of them other teams. But then because he was going to Pats, I says I wanted to go to Pats because he was going there. I thought he was a good coach. So I went there, and at the time I was going on trials with different clubs. I'd been at QPR, I'd been to Inverness then in Scotland, an agent that just sorted out I played a trial game, and then I was halfway through our season with St Pat's, and Inverness phoned me up. Terry Butcher was the manager and he offered me a 2-year deal. He just says, look, you were young at the time, but we like you, we're just looking to bring in younger lads like that. I liked everything I seen, and offered me a pre-contract. So I signed the pre-contract while I was still playing for Pats. Pats then got me into the first team. I played one game for them and they were trying to change my mind at the time. Liam Buckley was the manager and I just wanted to go pro. Like, I had my dream set on being a full-time footballer. So I moved over to Inverness then, and that's where everything started.
So did you move over by yourself? Did you go over with any family? What was like?
No, I finished my leaving cert. I did my leaving cert then when I was 18, and then that finished in late in May, and then I was gone, moved over and everything by July.
Well, how, like, is that, so what do you enjoy when you do your leaving cert?
18. So I was 18 and then moved over and I went straight into their first team dressing room. So that was tough. Like the under 20, they have an under 20s level there. So there was lads in the under 20s dressing room who were older than me, and I was sitting in the first team dressing room. So you know what it's like then, a few of the lads in their dressing room start to think, oh, who's this? Why is he getting to come in here and do that? Yeah, it was like Ryan Christie at Bournemouth now. He was there in that dressing room. He was quality. He was a bit younger than me, so there was a couple of decent players in there, but it was hard. But the captain was from Dublin, Richie Foran, and then there was another lad, Aaron Dorn, who played for Blackburn and everything. He was Dublin, so I was going in and they looked after as well. Like, it was fine after that.
What would you find the difference in the level? Like, did you play much for the first team there? Yeah,
so what happened was I went over pre-season and I was miles off it. It was really hard.
Fitness-wise? Or just
everything, skill level, fitness, size. I was a kid, like, and these boys, you know, some of them have played in the Prem or for Norwich and Swansea and things, so I was really struggling. Every day in training I was probably the worst player in training. It was brutal. I remember phoning my dad crying, going like, oh, this is not what I thought this was going to be, because I was getting into Pats' first team at the time, so I thought I wouldn't be too far away, but at the time the League of Ireland was at a level where that was a big jump. But I don't know what, Butcher just loved me. I worked me balls off, really. I worked hard all the time, and then the squad got a load of injuries, and we played Hearts away at Tynecastle in August. And he kept looking around on the bench, kept doing that. And Aaron Dorn had come off and he elbowed me, he goes, I think he's going to bring you on here. This is away at Tynecastle now, we're losing 2-1. Richie got sent off. And then he says, Pepper, calls me over, and then there was a boy who played for the Algerian national team, can't remember his name, I think his name was Tell. He says, I just want you to go on there and follow Tell around everywhere, kick him, pull him, do whatever you need to do, just stop him trying to play out. So I says, yeah, and that was in the 10 because he was their defensive midfielder, so I was coming on in the 10.
You come on in the 10?
Just to rat around. So sure enough, late on in the game, ball gets sent wide. Billy McCoy and Graham Sheeny play 1-2 back post, and I nodded in 2-2.
No way.
93rd minute equaliser. Away at Tynecastle in front of what, 15,000 people, and then the confidence that kind of gave me, I was buzzing. You know, I was getting stood in front of a Sky Sports camera then straight away after the game and things like that. And then the next week, I played Celtic at home. We were losing 4-0, so the manager again pulls us and says, right, go on, get yourself 20 minutes. 5 minutes after coming on, I came deep, took it off a left back turn, then I whipped the ball in from like 30 yards. Ross Draper scored. We went 4-1, we scored again 4-2. Now I look like a bit of a super sub, like. The next week I came on, got 5 more minutes, and then the 4th week then we played Hibs away. He put me straight in, right hand side of midfield. Started, we were losing 2-0, and then just before half time I scored again. I've whipped one in from about 25 yards in off the post. I'm laughing now, like, you don't want to see me in training at the minute, like, I am horrendous, lad. You wouldn't believe it. Every time I kept stepping on the pitch, things were just happening for me. So I scored again, so I had 2 goals and an assist in my first 4 weeks in the SPL at 18, and then at that point then I was nearly thinking, right, I can probably make a career out of this now. Yeah, so just confidence wise and all after that, I got better. I was putting on a little bit of muscle and that. I was, you know, training full time and things, and then I was enjoying it and everything after that. Butcher ended up moving on, and the next manager wasn't having us. But I did enough there to think, right, I could probably think I can make a career out of this.
And like, even, you know, no matter what kind of ended up, what way your career ended up, you still always kind of have that, like.
Yeah, no, 100%. Look, what happened with my injury then a few years later, I nearly was happy. Like, I'd been over, I played full time, I played in the SPL, I got a couple of goals, I'd been on Sky, you know, just things like that. When you're 18 and we played Celtic on the Sunday, the game's on Sky Sports, and my mates are at home watching it and I'm playing, like, that's what you dream about, really, isn't it? So,
and so you went to, was it a bad ACL injury you had when you were at Morton?
No, so everyone always thinks the ACL, but mine was, my kneecap tore off my leg. So we played Hibs away again. This is the same stadium, 2 very different parts of my career. Ball came out wide and I've gone to cross it, and I felt it straight away. So obviously your kneecap usually just dislocates, sliding to the side, but I could feel it. Mine lifted and went right. And you know, just when you know straight away, then I'm on the floor screaming, I'm trying to grab grass, I can't breathe, the pain's unbearable now at this point. I'm punching the floor, and then I just thought, right, this will be a knee injury, and then obviously it followed on, there was a load of complications, and it got worse from there.
How long were you out for total?
28 months. 28, yeah, 2.5 years, yeah. I had three surgeries on it.
And did you try and come back a couple of times and broke down, or? Yeah,
so I got my first surgery. I went to the guy who deals with Rangers and Celtic players. Jim Duffy was our manager. He's played at a good level. He knew people, so he says, look, I'll just get you in here. So I did that.
Sorry, Lance. No worries, got the GoPro on.
I did that, got the surgery, thought this would be fine. I think I was out for about 8 months from there, and I came back after pre-season. The lads were playing some games, I started to train, but I was running around the pitch and my kneecap felt like it was sliding around my knee. Like, that was a weird sensation. I was going into the manager saying, like, Gaffer, my knee's moving around my leg here, it's something not right. And he says, Peps, you've had a serious injury, like, you know, there's going to be a bit of a mental battle on trying to do things like that. I knew myself. I kept going, and I was like, and then sure enough, ball came out wide to me and trying, I've opened my leg out and I went to whip one down line. As soon as I whipped it, everyone just heard this loud pop noise again. I'm on the floor side screaming, me knee. And then sure enough, my knee's out like this again. Go back, have to get more scans and stuff. Now they're saying there's a hole in the back of my kneecap because my knee's come off my leg, hit the bone, and I've took a chunk out the back of my kneecap now. I knew it was moving around, like it said it was. So I've been seeing them doctors, they were like, look, the amount of cartilage or whatever we took out your knee and on your kneecap cartilage, it's called articulate surface, it won't grow back. So they were like, it's not going to be able to take the force. So we think this is probably going to be it here. So I got a clean up job just to kind of like stop grinding and things like that in my knee, and then started my coaching badges. I was manager of Morton's Resis at the time. Jim Duffy gave me that gig, like, just to keep me on the payroll. So my contract finished and he gave me that to stay over there. He got the sack, and then I came. Oh no, sorry. Well, at this point then, I tried to come back one more time, and my dad wouldn't give up on it. I was kind of happy to just do my coaching badges and wrap it down at that point, just because of pain and things like that. And then I flew to London to see a specialist, and he said he handed like a couple of A4 pages, and it was like all my symptoms, like the knee sliding around, the sensation I get when I like make a certain movement. And I was like, this is exact. I was like, the fellas in Scotland said I had to retire here. And he's like, nah, I think your MPFL's gone. I says, that's why it's not coming up on the scan. We can tidy up the cartilage, but I've seen this once or twice. I think there was one other guy in rugby, and then there was another guy at Wolves who had done it, but his kneecap split in half when he came back, when he's done it. So mine's come off, hit the bone. The guy at Wolves had come back, and his kneecap split in half. He's like, oh, I think I can get you back playing. So I just done this one last surgery as sort of a like, I'll do it and then see what happens, but I'll just continue on with my coaching. And then as I was coaching, I started to join in with training and things. And I thought, you know what, this actually feels all right here. It's not, my kneecap's not moving anymore. The pain's gone away. Like, they're still painful, but the actual kneecap wasn't sore anymore. And so as I kept going, I thought, hey, this isn't bad. So obviously then Jim Duffy got the sack and my coaching role was gone and everything. So I came home, and that's when I thought, look, I'll text a few people and see if they can get me in training here and get going again that way.
Like, I don't know how, like, from a mental perspective, like, because 2 years is a long time. Like, even like I gave up after just getting recurrent injuries for a year. Like I just couldn't stick to doing rehab again. The fact that you broke down multiple times, but you haven't really had too many issues with your knee since then, have you?
No, I work hard on it. You know, every most weeks is more you just pain manage them in the gym, and I need to do this for my knees, or I need to do that. There's knee health, there's exercise, and I got real big into the gym, so I'm obviously doing my S&C stuff at the minute to pair with my A license, because hopefully I can do stuff like that and stay in football that way. But I take it serious, and it was more of, I know it's a bit stupid, but it was more of a pride and ego thing. I didn't want to be that fella who he was all right, and then he wrapped it because my knee went. Do you know what I mean?
Have a go at me.
No, but it was just like that is. I went home back to Dublin, and I was like, oh, you're back home and all now, and I'm like, yeah, my knee's gone here. And you know what I mean? It was a little bit embarrassing for me, so I just wanted to give myself the best chance, and if it happened, it happened. If it didn't, at least I could have said to myself,
you'd give it a
exactly, yeah.
Go.
Yeah.
So when you came home, was your next club then Glentoran?
The Glens. So I've been in training with Bowes, and I've been there for ages, and I was struggling pain-wise, but I'd done enough. Keith Long was the manager at the time, said he was going to sign me. They gave me a squad number, a kit bag and everything like that, and then look, one thing happens in football, they give me the old insurance show, show, all that, and I went, right, that's what we're doing here now. After everything I've done, like, you know what I mean, I've waited 2 years for a chance, and I've been training for a month. The first month was to basically show I could get through some training. The second month they says, right, we'll actually take a look at you. So that all went to pot, and then a scout I used to know took me over to QPR, had seen me in at Bowes, and he says, what are you doing now? I says, nothing. I told him basically what happened, and he says, look, I've found a few people up north, they'll probably be more likely to take a chance on you. Ronnie McFall phoned me up, and then I played a trial game away up at Ballyclare. 10 minutes into the game, thunderstorm, game got cancelled, and the league started the next week. I got back in the car with my dad, soaking wet, and I thought, right, that's me here. I'm not doing this anymore. But you know what, to be fair, Ronnie phoned me up and says, you know, he's like, yeah, look, I'll take a chance on you here, we'll give you a 6-month deal. But it was basically like, look, if I'd have done me hammy, I reckon they probably could have torn my contract up. There was a few stipulations in it, but I went up there then and done okay,
I've never really interacted much with Ronnie, but from what I hear, like, proper
I loved him. He was great, like, with me, especially like, even now I'd still maybe phone him, check in on him, how you doing, Ronnie, what's the story, things like that. Or like, he'll come to games, and there's a couple of times I've been playing a game and him and his wife had made sure they'd be sitting outside the ground waiting on me because he wants to come and say hi and things like that. I got a lot of time for him. Ronnie phoned me up now and asked me to go and do something for him, I'd do it. So yeah, he's a great guy, and he didn't have to get up to go and manage the Glens at the time. I think they were struggling and things. He did that just to go and give them a dig out, but no, he was great. No, I got a lot of respect for Ronnie, And
I think you kind of hit the ground running, especially initially at Glentoran, and not the case now, but like you had become a bit of a fan favourite.
It was a bit of a running joke at the time with the Player of the Month awards. I think I won like 4 in a row leading up to Christmas. Like I was just getting all the
Your
votes
dad
and
had
that.
load of accounts and
yeah. No, so I think I won 3 or 4 in a row, and then he pulled me in looking for a new deal. And at the time, like I was loving it. I just thought, right, this is me getting back fit. It felt like football again. I was getting into some big games and things, and they pulled me in straight away. Just says, look, do you want to get a new deal done? And Ronnie talked me through everything. Like I didn't have an agent again at the time. He was just like, look, I'll get you sorted. So I had a few chats at Ronnie, a few chats with up the stairs, and went in, signed a 2-year deal, and that was us done. Yeah.
And in your head then, were you still thinking, like, had you kind of resigned to the fact of being a proper pro footballer?
Yeah, well, at this time I was 25, 26. Yeah, I was thinking part-time. It was a decent enough level for me, and do you know what I mean? So I just thought it was something, like I'd missed the Saturday stuff, I missed dressing rooms and things like that. So at the time, I thought, I didn't know what could happen, but I thought it's only 2 more years, it's a 2-year deal at the time. I thought I'll do this. The travel wasn't too bad at the time. The Glens were only training twice a week. Yeah. So I had to just fly up on a Tuesday, Thursday, and then play on a Saturday. So it suited me, and look, I hadn't been working really either. I had no job. I was trying to do a bit of coaching or whatever, but it was hard, and it was a couple of quid for me, so I done it. Yeah.
So then Ronnie, Glens got bought over.
Yeah, well, Ronnie's end was quite bad. We weren't great. We were losing a lot of games, and then Ronnie had phoned me the night before about maybe going to resign and things like that. So even stuff like that to phone me first and make sure I knew what was going on. I wasn't going to wake up in the morning to some news or whatever. So he resigned, and then there was obviously the talk of the takeover and things. Smicker and Leaper.
That's right.
Took the team for a couple of weeks. So it was in the pipeline. They didn't appoint a manager, but Smicker and Leaper were in with Ronnie just doing a bit anyway. Yeah. So they took the team for a few weeks, and then by the end of that season, then
Smicker and Leaper.
2 proper Glen men as well. So they took the team to the end of the season, and then that's when the takeover happened and Mick came in,
And then, like, that's when I came in as well, and there was, we were talking about this a couple of other episodes, like, real positive vibe around the Glens at the time. We were bringing in players, signing.
Yeah, but that's what fans want, isn't it? Fans want signings, they want success, they want all these types of things, and that's what they were giving us at the time. They were bringing in a real professional attitude. It was definitely a jump up from what it was under Ronnie. Like, look, don't get me wrong, like it was a definitely jump up. They were taking it serious, and they came straight away and thinking, we want to get higher up the table, we want to get into Europe, we want to do all that stuff. And then they made a couple of good signings, and then that season, then we were a much better side. We were decent. I think by the time we got to Christmas, we went 16 games unbeaten, and we were top. That was a COVID year then, if you remember.
Even to now, I think, because the league got cancelled in like March.
End of February, something like that.
COVID, and we were top going into the new year. And then we brought in, remember we signed like 9 players.
They made too many signings in January, I think.
And they were all good players, but then we changed up the team and see if we had.
And they didn't know their best team. And I think that year I'd moved back to right back then by this point. I was in midfield in the first year. I think I played the most minutes, I had the most clean sheets, and I was thinking this team is actually going somewhere now, because I was always a fullback in Scotland. I was kind of doing a job for the Glens in centre midfielder. And then went to fullback because we are signing more players as players who are there to play centre midfield and things. Like you said, we were top. We had real good momentum and stuff. And then I think that I can't even remember how many signed. We must have signed 5 or 6 probably.
I remember we went to Institute away one day at the start of January, and like there were 7 new signings starting in the team. I remember I think they were giving me, John Heron, Kieran O'Connor. There was like a few lads who were all there, and we were all looking, going like, look at the bench there today. Like they all have a couple of 100 appearances and everything. We thought that, so it was just like, if we hadn't done that, now obviously you don't know this.
No.
And then all those players at the side ended up being good. But if we hadn't done that, we'd have kept our run going, and the league gets called off. We actually might have.
No, you never know. Look, that was the thing with COVID. Look, I remember Mick was taking some stick for trying to work the league round all the time, wasn't he? About points, this and call the league here and there. But then look, what happened. It was the same in every sport or every league. The COVID stuff just sort of messed up with everything.
So then obviously COVID stopped. We all kind of stopped training, like weird time, and then we got back together for the Irish Cup. The 4 teams kind of started training again. There was then some rumours at the time then about where you leaving, where you gonna go. I can't quite remember if you did come back and train with us.
I did, for a little bit.
And then you get told not to come back.
Basically, because it was all in the papers then that I'd gone to the Blues.
So why, like, that's a.
Look, at the time there was still a lot going on with the Glens, with Mick and Wendy, and signing these players, signing that players, and I was having meetings with them, and I just didn't really know what was always going on. Like we said, I'd been over the water, and I was just a little bit taken aback by everything. And look, you know me, I did it at times of training. I wasn't afraid to like speak my mind on things. A couple of times with the training after we came back from COVID, like I'd speak up for the boys or whatever. And then at that point, a lot of clubs had got on to me because COVID had happened and my deal was basically going to be up in a month. Yeah. So I spoke to a couple of teams from down south, a couple of teams from up here, and yeah, I hadn't really made up my mind. Mick and Winnie then did phone up and they were like, look, let's do something now, let's get it. And it was just a little bit too late at that point. I didn't really think there was any coming back from it. I had made up my mind that I wanted to leave. I hadn't actually made my mind up where I wanted to go, but by the time we got back into training, I knew I'd spoke to the Blues and wanted to go. Like,
do you regret at all the fact, like obviously that situation's never going to happen again with you and Nav signing for
the Blues,
after
the cup final, yeah.
But is there any part of you looking like back at that and thinking maybe I should have waited to make my mind up after, because it could have been a part of that Irish Cup team? What was it like watching it?
Yeah, it was weird, but like I'd played in all the other games on the way up to it, so it's not. Count. Yeah, no, of course, because I played in 2 cup finals after it, obviously. But it was just like, I'd made my mind up. I was really excited at that point. I was going to play in Europe. I'd spoke to a load of people, even yourself, about Linfield, what it was like there, all this type of stuff. And there's not one person that didn't say it's some football club.
There's so, again, I'm repeating myself from the last episode, but there is no club like Linfield in terms of everything, how you get looked after and see now, Johnny, how things went the next couple of years for me, I wouldn't change it. I made the right decision. That first year I played 30 odd games, we won the double, I won the league and the cup in the same week. That was unbelievable. That's exactly what you go to Linfield to go and do. So look, now I'm happy with my decision. I'm happy with how my career's gone. I've seen something different, and you know what, some of the boys at Linfield now are my best friends. So I'd never change my mind again now. And I think like the Glens fans, like even now, still give you a step.
We were getting a laugh out of the other day.
That's right. Hold on. It sent them this the other day. Some fella tweeted.
Are you allowed to swear on this?
I'm going to swear. They can bleep it out. Only just seeing Linfield's winner from Saturday. How absolutely is Conor Pepper?
Yeah. I think he says, how is he still playing in the top flight as well? Yeah.
Some make the same mistake. So,
do you know what? There's been worse than that. There's been a lot worse than that. And then, look, at times I'd had a few goes on Twitter about it, but there was times where
you take it though? Like
I'm fine. Seeing it's about me. I'm fine. Like I'd see that, I won't buy that. I won't do. There was 1 or 2 times where they were getting onto my sister or my ma's stuff. They'd got my phone number at different times, and I just thought, like, come on, lads, that's like a little bit over the line, because like that type of rivalry is what makes that game so special. So it's never going to go away. The hatred is like that. It's part of it. It's just when sort of my family were starting to get it, or it was getting a little bit close to home. I lost the head maybe once or twice sitting in the apartment about it. But no, look.
And like,
it can be good and bad. If I was that bad, Johnny, and they wouldn't be talking about it anymore. Do you know what I mean? Or I know some lads who play in a game and they'll have absolute nightmares, and there'll be nothing about them anywhere on Twitter. But like, look, I probably should have done better on the goal, but it's going to be, and then it's going to be all over Twitter. I got sent off a Portadown, and there's a load of Glenmen videos or this tweets and all that. So it's part of it. Look, I'm not the only one. There's going to be loads who do it.
I think it's a privilege of coming and playing for teams like Linfield and Glentoran is like you're susceptible.
Like I said, it shouldn't go away, because what makes the game special when Linfield and Glentoran walk out for the Big 2 derby and the atmosphere is electric like that. That's what's good about it.
And like, you won't be the last player that goes from Glentoran to Linfield.
Well, the Glens will hope not, maybe, or then maybe the Blues. You never know how the Glentoran end up here now in a couple of years, but.
So when over at Linfield, how did you find working with David Healy, like comparing to previous managers? I didn't really ever play that much at Linfield, but I just thought Healy was a fantastic manager. And a Linfield job is such a hard job to have, and anytime there's pressure talking about, like, you know, Healy out, I just think it's crazy, because the pressure to manage that job and, you know, all the other things that go with being Linfield manager, I just always thought he was a fantastic manager, great way to kind of have a great respect and command of the dressing room. That was a long time ago when I was there. No,
it's still like that. He's got to have respect because of his playing career, and that's what kind of he gets it, doesn't he? He knows when to even small things of, look, there's been a load of games here, the lads have done all right. Do you know what? I'll give the lads a few days off now. Do you know, like just small little managing. Knows how to manage players and things like that. Yeah, I always got on with them, especially at one point I got in and I was coaching with Linfield's 18s with Jamie Mulgrew, and he was going to come speak to me about maybe scouting, or if you're going to start doing this now, and he, you know, yap away to us different things like that. Look, football's football, and at one point they thought, I can be moved on, they've got enough here, or do you know what I mean? Or there's younger lads coming through in your positions. I get that. I hope to be a manager one day, and I might have to make the same decision. So it would never be personal or nothing. Like, especially the last couple of weeks with everything that happened with Noobs and things. Me and Healy spoke loads. You know, he drops me texts, or he'd phone up, see how things are and stuff like that. So no, it's all good. Yeah.
So when I mean, it's kind of when you went to Cliftonville then in the summer, it was you and Noobs, you know, went together.
Yeah.
Did that play into the factor of you both going to Cliftonville? Did you go first?
Yeah. So I went. What is it? Well, we're a year and a half away. I went a year and a half ago. Noobs came in the summer, and then Noobs had, like, I think he got offered his contract by Cliftonville, or by Linfield. Cliftonville were obviously interested, and I think Coleraine were interested in him as well. So he had a lot of interest. One of his big things was like, Pep's the only best mate. I'd rather go there. You know, I get on with you. You've said loads of good things about Jim and Skene. Look, if you're going to be there, I hadn't signed a contract at that point, so I didn't know if I was staying or not. He's like, if you're going to be there, I'll come. And so he did then, and he joined in the summer.
And then obviously, you know, really horrible news that kind of happened over the Christmas period there. And like, I didn't, you know Noobs very well. We've been out for breakfast a couple of times, been online, playing pitches a few times. Like, you know, a fantastic guy. How did, like, obviously you were, you know, probably his best mate and so close to him. How do you even begin to try and deal with something like that? You
don't. Obviously, when the first few phone calls come through from like his family and then me and Jim, the gaffer are talking and things like that, it's like, it's not real. Do you know what I mean? You're phoning around, I'm like, nah, it's not happened or nothing. Do you know what I mean? I was like, kind of like shaking, or I'd gone white. My missus looking at me going, what's wrong? And like, I think Noobs passed away. And she looked up, she was like, what? So, you know, you're running around phone and all, and then, you know, when you get like a little, like, obviously I was still speaking to his family, and then I just sat down on the couch and just burst out crying. I was like, well, what has just happened then? So look, it's sad. There's no right or wrong way to deal with it. Since Noobs came to Northern Ireland, I've nearly been his messmate. He'd moved in down the road from me when he was at Linfield. I spent every single day with him. Even when he was at Linfield and I was still at Cliftonville, we'd speak every day. He moved in with me at 2 different points while he's been in. He lived with me for a couple of months as well, because he was trying to change apartments, so he came in and moved in with me and Amy. So she was just as distraught as I was, you know what I mean? He was like part of the family nearly. Me, Noobs, the dog and my missus were in the house for a couple of months. As a character, like that, it hit everyone so much because he was such a big personality. Noobs would be like the funniest, the loudest, the hardest, the angriest at times. That's just how Noobs was. He's such a big personality, and that's why I think, just for everybody, it was just so hard. And even at Linfield, the Cliftonville, boys loved him. Like, boys loved him because he was just so funny. Every time he'd come in, how he'd act, or you know, if you wanted to get a bit of a wind up, you go after Noobs because he was going to react. So that's all the fun things about Noobs. And now you get over the grieving and things like that. That's what you want to try and sort of remember. Or maybe get a laugh. Something will happen and the lads will go, oh, do you remember Noobs did this, or something like that. So you won't ever get any answers. Like, that type of stuff now is like a problem that the whole world deals with, and something we're all trying to get better at and improve on. And hopefully, like, look, if there's one thing that's going to happen now in Noob's name, that never happens again. Well, what I think was like special, and it's always special when stuff like this happens in our league, and like to the points you were saying earlier, like that guy that I had the tweet I read out earlier from Slabber about you, like, you could probably go and find him, you know him, and it's like, when someone's shouting at you from the side of the pitch, you can actually see their face, and it's the Irish League community is such a close-knit community. When something like that happened, well, stuff like that is like part of the bigger thing of it is close-knit, and you see everything, and lads in this league need to get way more credit. The fans think there's this money going around the league, and there's never as much as you think. To play at this level, some lads have played higher, some lads have played lower, but they're putting pressure on themselves to do well. They have their own things they want to achieve, but you don't maybe get the benefits of lads who are over in England, of the financial stability, the this or that. Like if I'm on £5 a week and a club lets me go, or I'm under pressure, I go from 5 to 3. And you know what I mean? Whereas in the Irish League, like I said, there's lads putting pressure on themselves. They're having to see everything because it is a close-knit community. You never know how people are going to react to that.
But I think the good thing about then the Irish League is how everybody rallied round. You know?
Yeah, no, it was amazing, and his family loved it. His mum and dad still phone me today. Every time they see something, they send a video, or they send a screenshot of something, or this and that. His dad loved it. His dad took so much out of seeing all the posts and stuff. Yeah, he was amazing. Like his dad, he constantly all the time. So the video, Linfield made a daily video about Noobs. And David Healy sent me it in the morning, on like a Saturday morning before the cup games, and as I was texting David Healy back, I says, Noobs' dad's going to love this. He texted me the other day saying, as I was writing out the message, another one came down from the top, Noobs' dad, look what David Healy just sent me. Do you know what I mean? So it's exactly the type of stuff he wants to see. Like, so no, it was amazing.
I think I got to maybe. That's just one of the things that makes our league so unique, and our the community up here is just the ability to rally around when
Yeah, and look, because it is, everyone knows each other, don't they? So Noobs has probably crossed a load of people. Amount of times that people just say, "Oh, I met Noobs once. He was great, or he done this." So that is it. Yeah. So he's an amazing person, and look, I was devastated at the time, but now I'll miss him, and I'll always make sure that I'm trying to show some sort of homage to him. Yeah.
How does it's like how going forward Cliftonville kind of the rest of the year, like I can't even begin to imagine how that might affect it, and how do you kind of get back to a sense of normality around the changing room?
Yeah, close to the time, those couple of weeks we still had games. It was hard. It's not like we all went and met at Solitude that night just to try and talk some things out and see where we are with things and how we can help, or how we can all move forward. I think the lads have spoke about maybe getting somebody in to come and speak to us. Do you know what I mean? Trying to do stuff that's going to help us in a positive way now. And we still play with the 5 on the front of our shirts, stuff like that. His brother came over for the Linfield and Cliftonville derby there, so we'll do bits and bobs. We still have a job to do, Johnny, do you know what I mean? And the club still needs to be doing well and winning games of football, so we do need to just probably try and concentrate it, and by doing big things like forward to the League Cup final, can you go and win that and go and do that for Noobs, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so you can even, maybe draw a little bit extra from within yourself.
Yeah, well, like, look, imagine giving us that the League Cup medal. That'd be amazing. It'd be an amazing touch, or he was there in the stand, you know what I mean? So stuff like that would be really important.
And talking of the League Cup final, obviously playing Tour, no doubt you're going to get what's your thoughts kind of going into that game? Glentoran have, honestly, I think looked really, really strong last couple of weeks. I've been to see them quite a few times. What's the thoughts kind of going into that game?
No, it'll be tough. Like same as the Irish Cup final there against Linfield, it'll be tough. It's really a great occasion when these big clubs or these old school clubs get to go to the final, because the fan bases are there and playing them. It'll be an unbelievable occasion. The atmosphere, getting clubs out. Look, I hope we win. I hope we take the trophy home. But yeah, Glentoran are going strong. They just picked up a County Antrim Shield. Building on something like that to get to where they want to go is going to be important. Another final loss could maybe set you back. I don't know. So yeah, look, we've got to prepare right. We still have a load of games before then. The league's been tough this year. We lost a lot of goals in the summer with Ben and Ronan and Sam Ashford. Like it's been tough. Probably results wise, I think we expect to be a little bit better and have a couple more points. So we need to deal with that first, and then think about the cup final when it gets there.
I've never been so jealous of somebody when Ronan Hale scored that goal in the Irish Cup final. That was just like the most amazing way. Like, just Cliftonville hadn't won the Irish Cup in so many years.
The commentary as he was going down.
Everything about it was just amazing. It sickened me sitting in the house.
Yeah.
What was it like being part of that?
Yeah, well, so obviously I don't miss the cup final that Glens played in. There was nobody there. The cup final then.
Sure.
Yeah, the cup final that we played with Linfield was down in Moorview. I think we had a 500 each, maybe 1,000 each or something like that. That was good, but that was a bit of a weird one, because we played that cup final and we had to beat Coleraine on the Tuesday night to win the league. Yeah. So it was weird. So we played in that, and it was like a bit of a celebration. But really, like we got training on Monday. We need to go and put the league to bed here now as well. But that day on that cup final, as we left Solitude, the flares, the fans, the buses, and see, to be fair, not just the crowd and things after it, the celebrations after it. Even the Linfield boys will say, like, John, we've won a load of stuff. We never got an open top bus tour. We never got to do all that type of stuff. It was such an unbelievable experience, especially, like, you know, it might be like some of the lads first, it might be their last. You never know. So making sure you take all that in and understanding what you just did there. But that cup final was such a big thing for the whole league, the whole. Just everything to do with it, it's amazing.
It's a good comparison there because, again, I was just part of it, but didn't really play a part. But you know, at Linfield, winning's just expected. And that's great, but that means it was why it was special when we won that cup with Glentoran, because I've been out for a few years. It's why it was special when you win it with Cliftonville. They haven't won it so many years because it's not necessarily expected at those clubs.
No,
it's expected by the fans, but it doesn't happen.
45 years is a long time. A long time.
So, like, going ahead, when's your contract up with Cliftonville?
End of this year again now, So,
is it somewhere you can see yourself staying for?
Yeah, I don't know. It'll come down to the manager and Jared Little. I think there's been a lot of pressure on them probably to be signing contracts as well. I don't know. Look, I just want to do well and see how long my body holds up with all the surgeries and things, and pain wise manage that. I really want to be coaching soon. I've got my eye on it. I'm trying to look around and get jobs like that already. But yeah, I just want to finish the season strong, get another trophy. It'd be amazing. I'm starting to rack them up now, like, so.
Yeah, do you see yourself then? Do you want to be coach in the future, manager in the future?
Bit of both. I love dressing rooms and all, Johnny. Like, I love being around it. It's all I've ever known really now. Like, up until this year, I'd never had a job. I'd only ever been in football. So I love football. I love being in dressing rooms, and then I have a passion for managing. I knew I wanted to be a manager or a coach when I was young. When I was 20, I wanted to do it, and that was why even with Morton, some things always happen for a reason or whatever. But getting injured like that and I had my A license done by the time I was 24. So getting all that done so early, it just got me going. It's something I really want to do.
The change room, something you miss, like
Saturday stuff will always be that.
You spend so much, you don't realise how much time you spend with like a group of people. And I love looking back at each season, each change room. So I had a different type of.
A couple of memories or a couple of different mates. And you might. Look, people say sometimes they're just mates in dressing rooms, aren't they? They're not always friends, but you might pick one or two up from every club that you'll always stay in contact with. The majority of my best friends have been from, Big Cam, played with him at Linfield, played him a couple of clubs since. I've got all the boys I've played with at ours, I'm still best mates with them. Sometimes you do never speak to people like with.
Go on ahead, mate, don't worry, just chatting. And that's something then that you have to try and replace whenever you stop playing.
No, 100%, but like I said, I'm passionate about it. It's not just a thing, because if you're a manager, you can't have them relationships with lads anyway. So
that was something I remember when Warren Feeney, love Warren Feeney. When he was Linfield manager, I always thought he still acted like he was one of the boys.
Well, that's one of the things I take from Jim. Like, I played for a load of managers, but Jim has that level of authority that. Like, Skin's good with the lads and likes to go in and mess, and that's probably why they get on so, like, they're good as a partnership. But like, Jim has that sort of authority where there's the dressing room and there's still the manager. Do you know what I mean? That'll never.
See, if I ever
people are not afraid of him, but there's a level of respect and sort of authority that comes with him that you just have to.
See, I could never be a manager because I could never know if someone. I could never not make fun of them.
Do
something I'd need to be like that Skin person.
I've always been sort of loud enough in dressing rooms and tried to make a bit of a wind up and all. But you are going to have a little bit of that if you want to be a manager, because if they don't respect you and they don't sort of fear you a little bit, when you tell them to do something, they've got to go and do it for you. Like, so, no, it'll be good. I'm looking forward to it.
You've a wee baby on the way.
Yes.
How nervous are you?
7 weeks away now. I'm excited. Amy's great with reading up stuff and learn about it, and there's more books and videos and YouTubes and all, and how to deal with it, what to do with it. So learn on the job for me and then rely on her for everything else.
The thing that when I remember I had first baby, see going to training after being knackered, it doesn't even make sense. You're like, what am I doing here?
The no sleep thing, especially now because we are training in the evenings. It's a little bit different. You're waiting around all day or doing what you need to do. So no, I'm excited. We're close now. It could happen in 4 weeks. I don't know. So we have everything done in the house.
My missus might be in labour right now for all I know. My phone's on silent.
Oh yeah, sure, you're talking about it. But my missus' baby shower is tomorrow as well. So look, there's little bits like that to still get through. But no, I can't wait. Very
good. Well, look, good luck for this season. Good luck in the League Cup final, and
cheers, mate, and Johnny. Sound.